creating solutions for every problem. So I really love that. Kasi ayoko na medyo boring na everyday life. I love routines, but I want a little bit spice. Parang nabobored ako kapag kunyari paulit-ulit yung problema. Hello, bigyan nyo naman ako ng problem. Like, ayoko ng problem sa buhay. So, sa operations na lang. And also, one thing that I want to emphasize that I am living a vacation life. I'm working, but I felt like I'm on a vacation every day. Yun yung talaga yung nafe-feel ko. Yeah,
Hashtag
swear.
sana all.
Welcome to Spill the Creativity Podcast, the podcast where we will be having conversations with other creatives that will inspire us, keep us encouraged, and push us to reach our own goals. This is the place where we will be acknowledging the hard truths because while this path is fulfilling, the truth is there's no easy way to do things. It all takes hard work. We are going to be talking about the good and the bad about choosing a creative career. If you're looking for a cup of stimulation for creatives, a warm cup of tea in this otherwise bittersweet pursuit, then you're in the right place. So let's get that cup of tea and get on with the conversation.
Today, we are going to be talking about systems and creativity. And I'm so happy that you said yes to me because a lot of the people in our community are so focused on the creative side, which is a good thing. But sometimes we tend to forget that this thing that we got into is actually a business. Sometimes, we forget about that aspect. Even if creativity is good, there needs to be a structure somehow. So that's what we're going to talk about today. And I'm so happy that I have with me one of my closest friends on the internet. So we have Giselle Palomar. You might know her as formerly D Socials, but she's now D Systems. Thank you so much for joining me.
Hello, thank you so much for inviting me. So, hi, Tish. So, as you may know, I am D from D Systems, and I am a former pharmacist. So, this is something that I am proud of kasi syempre mahirap din magkaroon ng lisensya. Pero para sa tatlong letra, I studied for 4 years and then ngayon, I am building my business as a system strategist and operations manager. So currently, ang laki talaga ng shift from being a pharmacist. I even got my MS degree. So pharmacy din siya. But because of my love sa business management, yung MS degree ko din is a combination of pharmaceutical and business management din siya. Technically, nakuha ko yung goal ko na pagsamahin yung pharma and of course, the business side or the operations management.
So you said na 4 years kang nag-aral just to get those coveted 3 letters and then nag-MS ka pa after.
Yeah, 5 years yung MS actually.
So how did you get from pharma student into where you are now? Like maybe you can walk us through paano nangyari yun? Paano ka nakarating doon?
So I am actually working as a medical representative before the pandemic hits. So ang typical work ng medical representative is that you go to the hospital, you talk to the doctor, you pitch. Basically, you sell them your product. So technically, I've been working na rin sa business side, selling, marketing. So yun yung ginagawa namin. But of course, with the product na pharmaceutical products. Kasi syempre, yun yung edge ko kasi I am a pharmacist. Because of the pandemic, I realized or parang iniisip ko na should I really risk my health and my family's health with this line of work. Kasi nga, syempre, very exposed kami as a medical representative. We are going to the hospital. May mga doctors pa ako na nasa internal medicine. So, syempre, they are very close with the COVID patients. And one day before the parang yung magko-close ng border, buti na lang na-miss ko yung hospital na yon, but that hospital has a COVID patient. So at that time, yung COVID is something that we don't really know. So very scary siya kasi pag nagkaroon ka, you won't really know what will happen to you. So yun, nag-decide ako na I follow the work from home status. So I still work as a medical representative for at least 6 months after that. Kasi di ba March yun? Ay, not really 6 months, 3 months lang. Kasi di ba March yun? Tapos mga June, July, pinababalik kami sa field. Imagine, pinababalik kami sa field and then wala pang medicine and all. So parang sabi ko, no. So, and then at that time, parang, syempre, dahil scared ako na work from home yung dalawa kong kasama sa bahay. Ako lang magdadala ng sakit, diba? So I'm really worried for them. So they said to me na, okay, mag-work from home ka na since work from home din kami, ganyan. And inisip ko, paano ko incorporate yung pharma sa work from home? Like, mabuti sana kung it's so easy for them because my sister is actually a graphic designer and my brother-in-law is working now for a long time sa online space. So parang sabi ko, how can I transition as a pharmacist or how can I make my portfolio worth it as a pharmacist into a freelancer? It's like a new experience. Kumbaga para akong bagong salta sa earth. Fresh grad ako. So ganun yung nangyari, diba? So fast forward, I saw this course online. Actually, it was recommended by my best friend and we both enrolled. And then, lo and behold, I don't really understand the course. Kasi, syempre, I don't really know anything about freelancing. So, what they're talking about, SEO, graphic design, video editing, like, I don't really know that. Social media management is something, yan yung pinaka-basic for us, right? But I really don't understand it. Like, huh? Ano yung social media management? So, and of course, I'm a very private person. So, hindi rin ako sanay na nagsa-social media talaga ako all the time. So, ayun, parang it's like a long stage bago ako nakapasok talaga in the social media management world. So, I work with Upwork and of course sa OLJ. And then parang one day lang ako nag-apply then I got a job position but $3.75 per hour.
Wow.
Yeah.
Hindi pa ginawang 4.
I know, tinipid niya pa ako. Pero yeah, social media assistant ang tawag niya sa akin. But basically, I'll create content, I'll research, pero walang approval. So, very easy to work with. Post lang ako ng post. Basta post lang ako ng post for her. And also, I've become a virtual assistant. So, data entry. So, yun yung puro work ko. Data entry or social media assistant.
So, you got into social media. Then, what made you decide na okay, it's about time that I switch niche or like I focus on an entirely different skill. Kasi I remember we were in a program together.
Mm-hmm.
And that was the time when I feel like everybody is a social media manager. So
yeah.
Yeah, that time I was also a social media manager. So like, what was your thought process? Is it because masyado na tayong marami?
Actually, part siya ng reason. So, first, social media manager is the basic. So, parang yun yung parang stepping stone mo to become a freelancer, right? So, kasi yun yung pinakamadaling maintindihan in all of the freelancing job that was there. Yun yung pinakamadali aside from virtual assistant. But then again, I saw you, like you told, nasa isa tayong course, I saw you and your parang niche. I was really mad to myself. I was like, ano yung naisip yung podcast management? You always listen to podcasts. Bakit hindi kayo nag-podcast? Now she is the one na nasa niche na yun. Parang I really want to be niche down or the pioneer sa mga nini-niche. So I was really amazed by your niching down. I really want to be something that is tawag ito niche down and not the basic online business manager or virtual assistant because that's something I cannot hold responsibility kasi masyado siyang malaki for me. And then I came to realize my niche when I worked with my last client as a social media manager. I asked her a question, what is the reason why you work with me or why you choose working with me? So, ganun yung question ko. Then she answered na, you are very systemized and organized and I really love working with you. So, parang nag-spark siya sa akin. It gives me a lot of satisfaction when she said that. And then I realized, I backtracked everything and na-realize ko, wait lang, parang I spend a lot of my time enjoying most of my time creating the system in the back end. Like parang, how can I onboard her? How can I smoothly give her the fulfillment? How can I improve the project or the journey niya sa akin? Kasi, we both have that course na parang we should price premium, right? And for me, I felt like I'm not skilled enough to price premium. So what I'm doing is that, okay, I'll make this more premium feels by making them a VIP na lang. So I just want everything to be like, perfect. Pag nagka-problem sila sa end nila, maayos ko. So that is my drive to finally niche down. So that's the other part. So aside from I want to niche down to something that's really specific, I also found that this is something na they're looking at it. Kumbaga parang this is a must. Nakita ko yung gap. Nakita ko yung reason why a lot of solopreneurs are nasa survival mode lang sila all over again. Yung parang paulit-ulit sila sa survival mode. And nakita ko yung gap na it's because we are not yet ready or it's because we didn't have a little bit of system. Kahit simple lang siya.
Yeah,
so,
I agree.
Parang hirapan siya.
I love what you said na you were looking at the people around you pero the answer was just nasa'yo na yung answer. And it took a client to point that out. So, sometimes kasi yung hinahanap natin na magpapa-stand out sa atin, actually hindi sometimes nasa atin na lang talaga yun. You just have to reflect and maybe ask for for the help of the people around us to help us point it out. Kasi minsan, for us, it's normal. Kasi like for you, normal
Yeah.
para sa'yo maging systematic and everything. Pero for us na ang gulo-gulo ng buhay, parang kami, oh my gosh, how did you do that? So, like it's really a matter of being aware of your
Yeah.
skills and knowing when to ask for help to help you point those things out. Ang ganda
Yeah.
nun. I love it. Okay. Yeah. So from being a pharmacist to like all these online racket, social media management, and then finally a system strategist, what do you love most about the role that you're playing now in your clients' businesses? Or you're also a teacher, right? So what is one thing or maybe a few things that you like most about teaching systems?
Yeah, so let's say, kasi diba, like freelancing or this world is like a creative lifestyle. Parang creative talaga siya. You must be
Yeah.
creative sa graphic design, sa caption writing, sa content marketing. And I'm not a really creative person. Hindi ako creative. I'm more on the analytic side. Hello, pharmacist. So more on analytics, more on step by step, more on procedures. Talagang nandun ako, nandun yung focus ko. And then when I niche down to this, it was like super super dali nga. Like it was so easy to me. Like I can do it in a span of how many minutes. Like, if they have a problem or if they walk me through the process, I can see the gaps. I can see how we can improve it more. So siguro the thing that I really love the most as a system strategist or with my new work is that it makes me, parang it challenges me every day. And that's one thing that I really love. Parang china-challenge ako, creating solutions for every problem. So I really love that. Kasi ayoko na medyo boring na everyday life. I love routines, but I want a little bit spice. Parang nabobored ako kapag kunyari paulit-ulit yung problema. Hello, bigyan nyo naman ako ng problem. Like, ayoko ng problem sa buhay, so sa operations na lang. And also, one thing that I want to emphasize, or yung napansin ko, and I want to share it to the world, that I am living a vacation life. I'm working, but I felt like I'm on a vacation every day. Yun yung talaga yung
Wow.
nafe-feel ko. Yeah,
Hashtag
swear.
sana all.
Swear, like kahit mag-work ako ng let's say 7 to 7. Let's say nag-start ako ng 7, I stop at 7 p.m. Pero in the middle of that, I am working on myself then. Like I'm sleeping, I'm
Right.
reading, I'm watching movies. So parang sabi ko, wow, parang I don't have, like, di ba dati sanay tayo sa school, like 7 to 7, study, uwi, ganyan.
Yeah.
Tapos sa gabi, parang magpo-procrastinate ka na sa gabi, napupuyat ka kasi you're watching something or you're doing your thing. Pero right now, like, I am really living it. Like, hindi ko nararamdaman na
Wow.
Pasko na pala, ganun. Like, parang holiday pala, wala
I
palang
love
pasok.
it.
Kasi it's like, I can control it. So, yun din. I can control my life right now. So,
That's so nice. I think it just goes to show na, like, if you really persist, parang ma-achieve mo talaga yung time freedom na laging hinahanap ng mga tao sa mundo
yeah.
natin. But obviously, you weren't like that when you started. Like, you did not have this time freedom from the start. And I just want to put it out there kasi isn't it now when we scroll on TikTok, that's the first thing that we see, achieve time freedom, achieve financial freedom. But in our case, it didn't happen overnight. And maybe you want to talk about that so that, people won't be stressed that, oh my gosh, she's living a vacation life. Why am I not living a vacation life? Ganon.
Wait lang, no? So, disclaimer, before I finally live this moment, at saka kaya ko sinasabi na vacation life is because I really enjoy my work to the point that my work is not actually a work anymore. It's like a passion. Like, gonna open my laptop and gonna work on it and I'm so excited to find solution on their problem kasi hindi nga ako nabobore sa work. Technically, that's something that you need to do if you want to niche down. Like, for example, Satish, she love listening to podcasts. So, parang working with podcasters, hindi mahirap sa kanya kasi that's basically her. Kumbaga yun yung ginagawa niya. And yun nga, before I finally transitioned to this, I actually work like 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Grabe, lagi ako umiiyak kasi hindi ako creative, diba? So I work as a social media manager. I'm not really good with criticism, especially on my designs, ganyan. So it was so hard for me. Like sabi ko, why? What's wrong with this? Ganyan. So aside from working from 6 to 2 a.m., nandun lahat ng stress. Pero 6-figure ako nun. So parang ikaw na lang. It's your call to choose if you want that stress, no sleep life, but the money.
So this leads me to the next question. So would you say na having systems, like having built systems for yourself and for your business led you to living that vacation life?
It definitely helps. Kasi one, hindi cluttered yung mind ko when it comes to things. For example, if I need to create a new service, if I need to onboard a new client or team member, hindi siya cluttered kasi I have at least a framework. Like, you know, a step-by-step on how to do it. Di ba kaya nga tayo nag-create ng planner for the day? Kasi syempre, it structured our day. So, meron tayong hindi makakalimutan. We are so ready to focus on things kasi it was listed. Kumbaga, parang, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. So, wala ka nakalimutan at the end of the day. Hindi cluttered yung mind mo. Extra work kasi yun kapag cluttered yung life mo or yung mind mo. So, parang instead of you focusing on one thing, you focus on a lot of things. Also, I'm not really a fan of multitasking. So, they said, diba, parang, girls are so good with multitasking. Yes, but so hard to maintain, ha?
So, before you became a systems specialist, were you always a structure girl?
Well, syempre hindi naman tayo always structured, diba? But I am designed ako like that because of my educational background so that I won't miss any lessons or any quiz that I will be having. So, nung natapos akong mag-aral, I felt so lost because there's no schedule anymore. Like, my work is 7 to 4 work and then I was like, what to do next? Like, my mind is not working. I'm just literally not intentional with what I do. And then, sobrang multitasker ko nun. If you're a pharmacist in a specific drugstore, multitasker ka. It was like an all-around job talaga. Like, you're not basically the pharmacist looking at the medicine, looking at the prescription. So prone to mistake ka. I've done a lot of mistake when I was multitasking. So sabi ko, it's not for me. I felt like I needed space, I needed time, intention to understand every little details in my work. Kumbaga parang, it's not a question of how fast you are. It's the question of what is the quality of what you could give to your patient. To be honest, in that kind of perspective sa sales, sa drugstores, you need to actually, you know, quantity versus quality ka na doon. So yun. And then, I was really happy right now that everything is structured. So kahit yung simple lang, day-to-day basis mo. For example, I didn't plan ahead my week or my day. I am literally lost. So, mangyayari sa akin, I'm just so lazy for the day. I don't accomplish anything. Siguro kung makaka-accomplish ako sa small task lang. So, that's the side effect for me if I didn't plan my day.
That is so interesting because when you were talking about how your studies built you to be like that, it reminded me also of how we are built as well, quote unquote, to follow. Now, when we are in school, we are following a schedule. So the structure is pre-made for us and we just have to manage it in a way that's going to work for us. When we get into corporate or when we get into a 9-to-5 job, the structure is already there for us as well. And it's up to us on how we're going to do it. And then now we're on our own. So
absolutely, yeah.
Yeah. So how was that like for you? I know that you touched upon it a little bit a while ago. You said now you write down the things that you need to do. Was it like a drastic shift for you?
Actually, it kind of comes smoothly to me. Kasi nga, my mind was like, you need to have a structure in your mind. So I have that structure in my mind. Pero na-lost naman ako when it comes to building my own business. Starting it out, I was really confused because I didn't have any idea on how to start a business. I don't know how to start it. But when I work with clients, I work with them, I understand their business model. Actually, all of my clients were just, alam mo yun, parang market research siya in my mind. And then, yun nga, one thing that helped with me talaga is my master's degree because I have, parang meron kasi akong tinitingal lang mga business degree holder doon. So, mga MBA degree holder sila. And the way they see at things and the way they look at things is like, okay, so this is the business-minded type of person talaga. Yon. So parang that really helps me to parang structure the business side. And of course, yung sister ko kasi nag-start siya ng pharmaceutical business before. And then I was like a part of it. But that time, hindi pa ako business-minded. But right now, nung nag-structure on na nag-transition ako as a creative entrepreneur, parang na-realize ko na, okay, so this is something that I should have. Kasi ako yung nag-start nun eh. So the SOPs, the frameworks, I started it all.
Okay, that's so interesting. I want to go back to like what we said a while ago na when we were new in the freelancing world, we were trying to do so many things that is so far from what we know and what we're trying to do. Pero what we ended up with is something that has been innate. Parang you were helping your sister with her SOPs, you were putting structures in.
Okay, wait, sorry to cut you off.
Go.
Actually, meron din ako experience na parang ngayon ko lang din na-realize, oh my God, I have experience pala talaga in developing developing business. Like, yung ginagawa ko right now, kasi, but it's on a pharma side. So, yung kanya traditional business. So, I help her na in-enroll ko siya, or regulatory kasi yun. Ang tawag doon, regulatory pharmacist. So, you will enroll or you will start the business sa LTO. So, ikaw yung tutulong sa pag-process, yung workflow nun. Tapos, syempre, may mga needs kasi siya. Like, for example, yung mga SOPs, yung mga frameworks, ganyan. So, I've done that before I finally work in the online world. So, parang sabi ko ngayon, na parang sabi ko, wow, what I'm doing before I start social media or data entry, ito na pala talaga yun.
You know what? I was also thinking, it's also a good thing now we tried all these random things kasi if we did not try those, we wouldn't exactly know kung ano talaga yung gusto natin. Kasi we're very the same in the sense na, like, for example, for me, what I did was I made sure that I tried everything that I could so I can say for myself na I don't like that. You gain experience also so that you know what you really want and what you really don't want.
So yun nga, may kasabihan nga, diba, na parang it's better to have an oh well than a what if.
Yes.
Hindi
oh my God.
Sa Tagalog yan.
Yeah. Okay. I just got that from a friend actually. Tapos every time my opportunity, I always say that. But yes, that's like one of my favorite mantras na oh wells are always better than what ifs. And it turns out na bumalik lang din talaga tayo dun sa kung ano yung parang, I would say, our core. Okay, so I want to shift the conversation a little bit because a while ago you were talking about SOPs, frameworks, and all those stuff. And in the world that we're currently in right now, like in the creative world, those are like words that we don't want to hear. Or like even for me, because you taught me to have this recurring task quarterly to check my SOPs and to check my workflows. And every time I get that notification of like, toot, I understand na frameworks and workflows and SOPs are not everybody's cup of tea, but maybe there's something that you can share with these people who are still scared or parang intimidated with creating these.
So siguro something kasi na parang kinakatakot nila is that, well, maybe based on my own experience, is that SOP should be, alam mo yun, parang it should be well documented na parang ipapalagyan mo ng notaryo. So, it's not something like that, diba? It's not something like a contract or something else. It's just like a step-by-step procedure of your business na it's not only you can understand. Kumbaga parang you can write step 1, step 2, step 3. Tapos, pwede mo lang din ilagay doon yung mga resources that could also help you na hindi mo na need umalis-alis pa. Like, for example, hanapin, ano nga bang link yung kailangan kong ilagay before this? Ano nga bang password ko? So, it's like your day-to-day job and then you're writing it down. Para ka lang naglilista ng grocery list mo para hindi ka mapagastos ng madami. So, technically, SOP is like you write down your to-do list para lang hindi ka magkaroon ng extra time na hahanapin mo pa, gagawin mo pang ganito, ganyan. And then one thing then is that you can actually record it. You know, hindi mo naman need isulat kung hindi ka well-versed in typing those words. Diba? Kung gusto mo talaga na maganda, di ba video ka? If you're the talkative type of person, mag-video ka. And then actually some of my SOPs are Loom videos. And then it's okay na.
So what I'm getting from what you just said is SOP is basically you documenting or listing down your day-to-day activities. And it doesn't have to have those highfalutin words. It can be simple, but the point is just for you to document these.
Ang point siguro niya is actually for you and other people to understand. It's not only you. It should also be understood by other people so that you can delegate it. So yun siya eh. So parang even though you're not planning to delegate it now, you'll never know when to delegate. So at least you're ready.
Yes. I love that. For the longest time, I had been so adamant na the solopreneur. I'm a solo girl forever. So that's actually one of the things that I regret. I was always putting off writing down or recording my SOPs. If you're new to SOPs and frameworks, what you're gonna do is you're gonna go to YouTube or you're gonna go to Google, search for SOP templates, and the templates there are parang yung i-register mo sa ISO.
Yeah, di ba? Ang haba. Oo,
parang
detailed.
Akala mo magpapa-audit ka, di ba? I think like that's where the fear comes from. When in reality, you're just recording your day-to-day activities so that when the time comes na you're ready to scale, it's much easier. Kasi I felt that like a month ago, I onboarded people in my team Woohoo! And medyo na-stress ako ng slight kasi although we did it during our program together, parang kulang pa ng details. I was onboarding people and I was also refining the SOPs at the same time. So parang kung ginawa ko lang siya ng maayos sa bagay, nasa huli naman talaga ang pagsisisi.
Totoo.
So yun, that's one of the questions that I usually get, like how to write SOPs. Record yourself using a Loom video and show it to somebody who's in a completely different field. If they get it, you're good. If they don't get it, then simplify pa.
Technical terms, kailangan mo pang padaliin, ganyan. Or gumawa ka nila ng glossary if hindi talaga kaya. Like, if that term is really important in your business, create a glossary. Para lang may check, yun pala yun.
Okay, so the reason why I feel like people are putting off putting together an SOP and writing down their frameworks is because they don't really see the impact of this document to the business. Na parang it just sounds like a good to have. Like, I could live without that. For you, how did writing things down or recording your day-to-day activities into these SOPs and framework help you really grow?
Siguro most of the freelancers were not thinking this or like saying that it's a good to have because one reason for me kung bakit gusto ko siyang i-emphasize na it's a need, not a want, is because if you're gonna look for a short-term thing, hindi talaga siya need. But if you look for a long-term need, it's a must. Like, it's not something that for freelancers, it's basically for every business in the world, traditional or not traditional. So I've experienced talking to traditional business owners. My friends are traditional business owners and they were like, I need to create systems kasi I need my business to work while I'm not there. And that's our end point eh. That's our goal, diba?
Yun yung living a vacation life.
Technically, kaya na ng business mo tumayo ng mag-isa. Yun siya. So, that is the end goal of every business. It should be like that. So, if you're looking for something na, it's a good to have. No, it's not a good to have. It's something that you must. Oh, it's a need. Kasi if you're gonna look into your business for a long-term view, you're planning to have an agency, you're planning to have a studio, or you're planning to have like an on-site business or like a traditional business, which means meron kang place, not an online business. And then technically, you need to have an SOP so that kahit nasa bakasyon ka or kahit may mangyari man sa'yo, knock on wood, but everything is not revolves around you. So dun pumapasok yung bottlenecks, diba? Kaya diba pag nakikita natin, pag kumukuha tayo ng new employee or team member, we were like, I don't like to have this, but I need it. Parang ganun, diba?
Yeah.
But it shouldn't be like that, diba?
I love where this conversation is going because I love how you talked about you living a vacation life. You're living a vacation life kasi your work does not feel like work. But you know what? I think now one of the things talaga why you are living a vacation life is because a lot of the things that you're doing is automated because you have systems. Like, if your goal really is to have time freedom, if the reason bakit ka nag-click sa isang TikTok video is because nag-promise sila ng time freedom, the only way for you to achieve that is to have systems in place and see where you can automate things. When I was starting out, hindi naman ako 6 a.m. to 2 a.m. Pero parang feeling ko din buong araw akong nagtatrabaho.
Yeah, pagod na pagod ka, diba?
Yeah, and then may mga makikita akong post na parang, nasa na ba yung time freedom na sinasabi nila? Dito pala yun. Now, when you put a structure in how you do things and you automate yung mga things na nag-recur lang naman, that's how you get a 4-hour workday. That's how you get a 4-day work week, diba? Bakit ako nagka-eureka moment?
Sobrang true nun. Kasi technically, tayo na freelancer, when we actually go into the freelancing side, akala natin it's like a employee type of lifestyle. Pero online lang. So akala natin, flexible kasi ako, so yun yung time freedom, which is not. Kumbaga, iba pa siya. Iba pa yung time freedom at all. Especially if you want to earn more money and you want to have more clients. And how you can do that if break-even na yung time mo at saka yung money, diba? Doon nasa stuck minsan kung bakit hindi nag-scale. Wala ng time. I just want to share how my life became so easy because I have this one job that it was so time-consuming for me, but it is something so delicate that I cannot or hindi ko talaga kayang i-outsource before because for me, it was like, how can I outsource it? And then parang ang hirap niyang i-translate into SOP. So parang sabi ko, oh my gosh, ano ba? And then finally, alam mo yun, parang linunok ko yung pride ko na hindi lang ako yung may kayang gumawa nito. And then I created an SOP for that specific, like yung mga resources, things to do, policies, yung mga do's and don'ts, ganyan. I created everything para naglagay talaga ako ng do's and don'ts para, alam mo yun, para walang mali talaga. So
Yeah.
that's me micromanaging. And then right now, my life is so much better dahil na-outsource ko siya. It was like, so parang yun talaga yung ano ko dati. Yun yung nagpapadagdag ng mga workload ko. So kaya advice ko lagi sa mga mentees or sa mga tao lang na audience ko, ganyan. Ang advice ko is start with the most thing that you felt like it takes away your energy.
I love that kasi yun yung next question ko. My next question was supposed to be like, what is one actionable advice that you can give to our listeners who are struggling to put structure in their creative business? And I love what you said na start with the thing that drains out your energy and then just list it down. List down the steps on how to do that task. And maybe you
absolutely.
can find somebody who finds energy doing those
Yeah,
things.
oo, exactly. So,
yeah.
yeah,
maybe,
that's the biggest advice, I think.
Okay, so one of the recurring things that we also talked about in this episode is time freedom. So is there anything else also that you want to add? Because I realize now that apart from financial freedom, time freedom is such a big thing for us now. So is there something else that you want to share for them to achieve that time freedom that they're looking for?
Actually, when it comes to time freedom, you must be ready with handling your finances. I've joined this one summit last September lang. So, ang Reach Mindset daw is to exchange money for your time. Kasi actually, kala mo, no, parang sabihin ko, bakit ko babayaran yung oras? Parang ako nga dapat yung bayaran sa oras ko, di ba? But technically, you need to buy more time so that you can grow your business in a way that you can add more money. You need to be ready with paying something so that your time will get back to you. Tapos yun nga. So, I think that's the best for the time freedom. A lot of people were like, ayoko mag-outsource or ayoko mag-invest or ayoko gawin to. Gastos. Lagi ko naririnig na hindi ko napapalaki yung yung income ko. Hanggang doon na lang ba? So, di ba, may mga clients or may mga mentees ako na hanggang dito na lang ba yung income ko? Kaya sila nagiging umaabot sa hanggang dito na lang is because they are not paying for more time so that they can actually think. And like you told kanina, di ba lahat tayo parang we actually realize when we work on the freelancing, we niche down, we actually realize that it was our qualities that make us stand out. So technically, ikaw din yung parang puhunan ng negosyo mo, especially in the online world. Freelancing, sarili mo ang puhunan mo. You're putting capital on yourself. So, yan. So, if you give more time to yourself, if you're more happy, alam mo yan, naniniwala ka ba na kapag masaya ka, na-attract mo yung pera? Sobrang totoo nun.
Yeah, super. And yung parang nasa-stress ka or like you're anxious kung saan mo kung saan, like if you're anxious or if you're attached na maka-close ng client, the more na hindi sila nagsasign with you. Pero pag chill ka lang, masaya ka lang.
Yeah. Or if they sign up to you, you're gonna sign up a client that's so horrible that you're gonna cry at the end. So parang you just have to find the sweet spot talaga to achieve that time freedom.
Which is a lot easier said than done.
Said than done.
Yeah, but you know, another good thing about freelancing is that the world is your oyster. Alam mo yun?
Exactly.
You're free to fail. You're free to do anything that you want. As long as you do it responsibly, no? Baka mamaya invest ka ng invest, wala ka na palang pera. So,
no.
yeah.
You need to invest wisely every time, every single time.
Especially that you are a freelancer. Kasi diba when we are in a 9 to 5, when we make bad decisions, it's the company, right?
Yeah,
now,
exactly.
Ikaw na yung company. If you make bad decisions, that's on
it's
you.
Yeah, that's on you. Ikaw yung makaka-experience ng downside nun. So you need to actually think of it or wisely
be responsible talaga.
Yeah.
Okay, I love that. So we're about to wrap things up. So I'm gonna ask you like a few more questions. And the next one would be, what is that one thing that you wish you knew when you were learning about systems?
Feeling ko kasi my experience is not enough. So, I wish I knew that I have enough experience na. Like, nakalimutan ko kasi yung experience ko creating or starting the business of my sister and of course, one of my client na pharmacy din. So, parang I was like, it's not related with the online world, but technically it's business. So, because I know how to to create a traditional business, right? So I know how to create an online business then since I also started my own. Kumbaga parang yung akin din, ano ko siya, parang case study ko rin siya. So basically, I have 3 case study before I started the systems life and I have my degree that is related to it. So parang it comes to me na it was like an imposter syndrome. I need to be a very, very, very skilled or experienced. Like people were saying kasi diba na you have to have 7 years experience, X numbers years of experience that parang makes me so insecure with myself. But I realized for me lang my take for that is that is so employee kind of mindset. So parang parang pwede kang focus on the systems world, dapat meron kang ganong experience to get promoted. But technically, I study hard for that. I work on it kasi may case study ako. All of the businesses naman is naging okay naman. So parang technically, I am capable enough. And one thing then is that I don't see it profitable because I don't know it when you're starting. Diba? Basic problem, hindi siya need kapag starting out ka.
And you know what? I remember the time when you were going through all this imposter syndrome thing. Because I remember, parang we had a call. Hindi ko alam if discovery call yon or basta naisipan lang natin magchikahan one time. And then, you were saying na, buti ka pa, nakapag-niche down ka na into a podcast manager. Ako, I want to get into systems. Pero parang wala naman akong experience. Sino yung bebentahan ko? Wala naman sigurong bibili, ganyan. I think like the bigger lesson here is that experience does not have to always be you work for this person, you did this project. It could be something that you did for yourself, something that you did for your sister, something that you did for your friends. That's already considered experience, diba? Parang hindi lang natin siya kinonsider. Okay, so the next question would be fill in the blank. Yeah, so fill in the blank. Having systems in place will really help you
achieve your dream lifestyle. O, di ba? Achieve your dream lifestyle. Actually, yun kasi talaga yung pinopromote. That is something that I really want to let my audience actually ma-experience nila. Yung to have their dream lifestyle sustainable. You're living the dream life that you've wanted. Not like na sa simula lang. I want it to be sustainable until the end of your life talaga. Ganun yung peg. So, yun.
Yes, oh my gosh. And Dee is such a perfect example. Like, she now lives alone. She bought a car. She's running a business. Alam mo yun?
Old friends.
Yes, actually, I think it's systems and courage. Like, a mix of both. Kasi if you have systems lang, tas wala ka namang lakas ng loob na ipaglaban yung gusto mo.
Totoo. Actually, 3 things.
Oh, okay. Ano yung isa?
One is system, 2 is yung creativity mo. And then the third one is the courage. Kasi kailangan may creativity ka to stand above anyone else.
Right. I love that. Okay, and for the last one, if there's something that people should know about being an independent creative or basically a freelancer, what should it be?
It's not easy. So, siguro yung pinaka-general na na masasabi ko with that. Freelancing is not easy. Alam niyo yun, yung parang pag naganap kayo ng job and that's it? No. Pwede kayong mabudol ng mga courses, pwede kayong makaland ng bad Apple clients. You can also experience a bad Apple team members. It wasn't so easy na parang, freelancing, that's just like MLM. No. Successful people in freelancing or in the creative industry is that they work hard for it. They spend most of their time improving their business, improving their freelancing portfolio, showing up. Sobrang guys posting videos on TikTok. It took me 1 hour if there's a voiceover, if there's an editing thing. So, parang kailangan talaga ng effort when it comes to freelancing. So, kung mag-freelance ka lang just because you want money, then sad to say, hindi ka tatagal. Kung yun yung kung yun lang yung reason mo, yung lang yung why mo. Kasi it was so challenging talaga.
Yeah, and I think like this is a very important message to be said right now, like especially like in the current space that we're on, because again, like we were talking about TikTok a while ago. Like if you open TikTok, you'd see like a lot of people saying, "Oh, you want to earn 6 digits in 3 months? Mag-freelance ka, mag-VA ka, mag-social media ka." And to some some certain extent, no, that is true. Like, there are people who close high-ticket clients in their first try. But the thing there is it sustainable? So, which leads me back to what you were saying. If you see freelancing as a thing that you're gonna do in the long term, you should look beyond a six-figure income. So,
True.
Parang, yun nga in a sense, freelancing, technically madali yan, especially if, like data entry. Madali lang yun. Magta-type ka lang diba? Pero ang hindi madali, maghanap ng clients. Mag-make sure to retain your clients.
Yeah.
Ano pa ba? Mag-make sure na sustainable yung data entry gig mo, diba?
Oo, parang alam mo yun, parang hindi ka papasok sa feast and famine na sinasabi nila.
Yeah, kasi yun nga, parang madali nga ang data entry, pero ang gig na nakuha mo is, for 3 months
short
lang.
Term. Yeah, short term. So kamusta ka na after 3 months,
after?
right?
Naka 6 figures ka nga after 3 months. Paano na after? Ano yun?
Yeah, exactly.
Diba?
Exactly.
Yeah, so like in terms of skill, it can be easy, pero in order to really stay in the game and to make your business sustainable, you really have to exert effort. And ito yung, I'm an advocate of accepting that in this space that we're in, there's really seasons, and that's something na we have to prepare. And in order for you to get used to that season, kailangan matatag din yung loob mo. Hindi porket nawalan ka lang ng client, mag-give up ka na. Parang the reason why there are a lot of successful freelancers is because during the low days, during the low seasons, they did not give up, diba? Nag-show up pa rin sila.
Oo. So parang, it was like, ang favorite kong sinasabi sa sarili ko if I don't have clients or kapag low season ko is that I'm planting the seed. I'm planting the seed. It's not the harvest season yet. Right? So parang that's basically like business.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. Okay. And finally, we're at the end now of this episode. But before we leave, I want to give you this chance to let people know where to find you. If they want to sign up with your course, where do they go?
You can find me on Instagram, _systems, yung D ko DEE. And then sa TikTok would be D Systems. So DEE Systems lang din siya. And I will be having or holding a masterclass this December for everyone who want to be an inspiring system strategist or operations manager. So see you there.
Okay. So if you didn't catch that, all the details will be in the show notes. So I hope that you learned something from this. I know that we were only supposed to be talking about systems, but there were a lot of topics that need to be talked about. So I hope you enjoyed those side stories. Till next time, we are going to be serving some more hot tea for you guys. So I'll see you in the next episode. Bye!
Bye!
Thanks again for listening to Spill the Creativity podcast. If you like this episode, I would really appreciate it if you can give me a 5-star rating on Spotify and a 5-star review on Apple Podcast. Or you can also take a screenshot and tag me on Instagram at Spill the Creativity Podcast, and you can also try the special filters if you want. Thanks again for listening to this episode, and make sure to catch fresh drops every Thursday morning. Bye!